Hi guys, nbduckman here, and welcome to my very first vlog episode. This video is going to be a little different to my usual videos. I recently took a trip to the country of Japan, and while there, I filmed a lot of footage. I did some pretty interesting stuff while I was over there, and I really want to share it with you all. I did promise these vlog videos quite a while ago with a trailer I uploaded last year, and a few of you have asked when I was actually going to upload them, but I've finally had time to work on them, so here we are. Now, before we jump into the vlog, I just wanted to take a quick moment to announce the launch of my YouTube memberships. It still blows me away that over 6,000 of you have supported me by subscribing, and for that, I'm extremely grateful. I genuinely enjoy making these videos, and I wish I could do it more often, but unfortunately, YouTube isn't my full-time job. By supporting me with a membership, if you choose to do so, for 99 cents a month, I'll be able to spend more time making videos about lost media, obscure music facts, and rare collectibles, among other things, for you all to enjoy. You'll also get quite a few bonuses if you sign up, including early access to videos, member shoutouts, and exclusive access to some behind-the-scenes videos. The first of these is Vlog 0, an almost 20-minute vlog about my 3-day stopover in Singapore prior to my Japan trip. So, if you choose to support me with a membership, I'll be extremely grateful for your support, and I promise I'll make it worth your time. Anyway, that's enough about memberships, so let's get into the vlog. Our trip began with a flight from Singapore to Tokyo. The flight duration was about 7 hours, which isn't great, but I've been on much longer flights, so this was tolerable. Plus, we had the in-flight meal to keep us occupied, chicken shogiyaki with cold soba noodles. It's plain food, so it was nothing special, but I did enjoy the Japanese cuisine. We finally arrived late at night, and after stumbling our way through the limousine bus ticket machine, we caught a bus from the airport to Shinjuku, and then a train to our hotel. We had finally arrived. We awoke the next morning to a rainy day in Tokyo. While not ideal, this would turn out to be the only day on the trip where it rained, so I really can't complain. We made our way down to Shibuya, our first destination of the trip. We had planned a rough itinerary for the trip, and had scheduled Shibuya for day 1, so we could ease into our trip with some light shopping. And what better place to begin our shopping than the iconic Don Quixote. Don Quixote sells pretty much everything you can imagine, and that's not an overstatement. But of particular interest to me was all of the Mario merchandise they had, as I'm a huge Mario fan. They had so much exclusive stuff for sale that it was hard to pick, but I ended up grabbing this little coin slot machine toy just because it looked really cute. I also grabbed these Mario Hanafuda cards. If you know Nintendo's history, you'll know that these are extremely cool. After a bit more looking around the Mario area, including this display for Super Mario Wonder, which wasn't released at the time, we had to check out the Pokemon area too, where we picked up lots of nano blocks to add to our ever-growing collection back home. Honestly, there was so much to look at here, but it was just day 1, so I had to restrain myself. On our way out from Don Quixote, we ordered some of the iconic Don Quixote 10-yen cakes. These savoury cakes, which are baked right in front of you, consist of a delicious fluffy pastry casing shaped like a 10-yen coin, and inside contain a large chunk of melted cheese. They're not only extremely delicious and perfect on a cold day, but always make for a great Instagram shot too. After Don Quixote, we took to the streets of Shibuya again and made our way over to Mandarake, one of the largest and most iconic collectible stores in all of Japan. This Shibuya Mandarake is hidden in the basement of a building, but it is absolutely huge. We just had a look around today, we didn't buy anything, but this store will certainly appear in later vlogs. After Mandarake, it was finally time for a quick stop at the arcades. After a few losses on the claw machines, we decided to head over to the Disney store. I already visited Tokyo Disneyland on a previous trip, and I'm not a massive Disney fan, so a quick trip to this store was more than enough of a Disney fix for me.
Subject for today.
It was then time for a trip to one of the stores I was most excited to visit, Tower Records. Many of you watching will know I consider myself a bit of a music nerd, and this place is my mecca. As a huge fan of the late artist Najabes, it was both amazing and touching to see so many of his records for sale, accompanied by a poignant tribute. As well as the usual permanent display, they also had this temporary additional display set up. Great timing. And of course, I couldn't help but look for Joji music as well. We then made the classic stop at the Shibuya Scramble Crossing, the world's busiest pedestrian crossing where thousands of people rush to cross at a time. For our first dinner, we just made a quick stop at a ramen chain called Kamukura, and the ramen was better than literally anything I've ever had back home. We then stopped by the famous statue of Hachiko the dog. For those of you who don't know the story, and you do if you've ever seen that Futurama episode, Hachiko was a dog in the 1920s who, after his owner died, would still wait for him at Shibuya Station every day for 10 years. The dog became an icon of Japan. This statue is ridiculously busy at all hours, and be prepared to line up to take a photo. After a quick stop at 7-Eleven, we called it a night. The next day, we jumped on the train again and made our way out to the Tsukiji fish market. This iconic Tokyo fish market features rows and rows of vendors selling fresh fish and sushi, and it's about as fresh as you can get. Prior to 2018, you could come and watch the auctions for the really expensive tuna, but that part of the markets has since moved. Regardless, Tsukiji is still well worth a visit because there's lots of sights to see and lots of fish to taste. There's so many vendors to choose from, so you really just have to pick one. We found a random vendor selling fresh salmon, and it was by far the best salmon I've ever had. Next, it was time to get a bit more adventurous with some skewers of eel liver, and scallops. Even though the texture wasn't something I was quite used to, they were still absolutely delicious. For our final sampling of fresh fish, we stopped by a seated venue that served these fresh fish bowls. The bowl we got contained tuna, octopus, prawns, fish roe, and much more. All of it was amazingly fresh, but unfortunately, I'm not a massive seafood fan, and there were some items in this bowl that were a little too much for me. But hey, you can't knock it until you try it. After all that fish, it was time for something sweet. There were plenty of dessert places around Tsukiji, and we found this place selling fresh daifuku mochi with strawberries. We got the matcha flavour, and it was the perfect balance of sweetness and earthiness that we needed after all that strong fish flavour. After dessert, it was finally time to leave Tsukiji. Despite how busy the place was, I can honestly say I really enjoyed my time there. We then headed over to the Pokemon Center and Pokemon Cafe, which I will cover in the next vlog. This has been NB Duckman. Thank you so much for watching.
Like